All right, you guys, good rising. This is Naeem Shakam here, also known as Jude, and I am at work sitting in the parking lot. Getting ready to go in, but before I went in, I wanted to go ahead and finish this love reading that I was led to do this rising. If you see people walking around in the background, it's all good. They're getting ready to go into work. Okay, so I'm using the Doreen Virtue Romance Angels deck, and let me just hop right into the energy and the questions that I was asking. I asked Spirit basically what was the love energy of the day, okay? And one of the first cards to fly out of the deck was the wedding card. So I feel like there is this reading is going to deal with a commitment. Okay, this reading is going to deal with somebody who's either already married, whether it is legal in whatever state you're in, or whether it is common law, or whether it's just a commitment between two people who are seriously wanting to be with one another and work together and build a life together. Whatever your commitment falls up under, but you still consider it to be important to you, and whatever, this is what that energy is about. Okay. What I get from here is that I feel like the feminine energy is just smitten with her husband, and her husband, I think he really loves her too, but he seems to be more of the type that doesn't really display emotions and stuff like that. He's not that dude that's about to be like, oh yeah, I love her so much. And he's not big with grand gestures and romance, not that stuff out of the movies, but he does love her. He loves her a great deal. He admires her, maybe even. But I feel like she might expect a little bit from him, though, a little more in the department where she rules. And that could have been an issue within this connection, and it could have been part of why she may have felt like, oh, he doesn't care about me as much as I care about him. Or it might not have been so deep to the extreme like that. It could just simply be, oh, I wish he would be a little bit more romantic, a little bit more spontaneous, whatever the case may be. But anyway, that's just the opening parts. Okay, so that's what this is going to be surrounding. The next thing I asked of Spirit was, how does the people who will read, okay, so my other question was, those who will watch this reading, what was on our hearts and minds? And that was when the wedding card came out. So it's a commitment that's on our hearts and minds. Okay. The next I asked was, how does the person that those who watch this video and this message resonates with, how does that person feel about them? And I got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 cards that flew out of the deck all together. They didn't wait on each other. There wasn't no waiting and we coming out like one by one. It was, we all flipped over and out at the same exact time. Those were heart-to-heart conversations, and I was led by Spirit to take them all, because normally I don't do that. And just before that, it was a couple other cards that flipped over, and it was like more than one, and I was like, I'm not taking that, and I didn't even feel the pull to. With these, they all flipped over too, so I saw them, and it was like, damn, this look, yeah. So I went ahead and took them. Anyway, after heart-to-heart conversations, honestly discuss feelings with one another. Let me go ahead and hop into what I felt like each understanding was too, to save time. There could have been a conversation that just had, could have been a blow up, could have been an argument, and you probably were supposed to have come to an understanding with one another, but instead it just left you still confused, still heartbroken, still very, very hurt. Both of you guys were still with ego and pride up and all that kind of stuff. And maybe what you really wanted to deal with and what you really wanted to discuss and you really wanted to hear from both each other, you didn't. Okay, I know that that's resonating for me. For others of you, maybe this is just on your mind, that there are some things that you want to talk to your partner about, just to keep things on the up and up, or just to make sure that, okay, we're on the same page. Whatever the case may be, Spirit is suggesting that we honestly talk to one another. And when I feel like what I'm talking about, I think that there needs to be a vulnerability. That's what I'm hearing. That's even what I'm feeling. There needs to be, like, the love needs to lead, not ego, not pride, not each other being upset with one another, okay? Not grudge holding. But love needs to lead, so that the angels can be involved in assisting us with sharing our hearts to each other, okay? That's that with that. And honestly, see, With ego, there is a need to wear a mask. With ego, there is a need to defend and protect ourselves, as opposed to become, vulnerable and open with one another. All right? So we got to let that go. And I have a feeling that if you're like me, some of y'all have already, y'all tried to have that heart-to-heart conversation. And like I said, it did not go that way. It was the complete and utter opposite, to the where y'all exploded on one another. And by the end of the conversation, y'all was broken up. Or you didn't know whether or not y'all was broke up or you were together. So that's what I mean by the confusion. But y'all felt like, oh, we must have broke up because I think we said we broke up, but I really didn't mean that. I didn't want that. That's the type of shit that happens when ego is leading. You both are not honest, and you do things and you say things that you really don't mean. Moving on. Spirit also said to express your love, and it says go ahead and make the romantic gesture, okay? And it looks like first of all, both of them are equally involved in this. Okay, but it kind of looks like the lady had to lead to me, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just biased to us ladies because I think we are the bomb when it comes to that. But and I mean emotional vulnerability and being able to be the one to humble themselves and be like, okay, baby, I didn't mean it, or I love you, and da 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 da. Sometimes we get angry that we're strong in that way, but it is a strength, I just had to say that. Sometimes some of us try to hold ourselves back from that because we don't want to appear weak and we don't want to appear vulnerable. And sometimes we get tired of being the bigger damn spirit or the bigger person in the flesh. We sometimes get tired of that. We wish that our men would do that sometimes. And it's not to say that won't happen or it doesn't happen and that men are not also, because there are a lot of beautiful men, I wanted to say, that do make the gesture first, and they are the first, they're more in touch with their feminine side to me though, but they're able to go ahead and not be concerned about showing their vulnerability. But I do feel like this is something that both parties have to do, and I feel like it's going to happen. I know for me, in my case, you guys, I made another reading that also you guys who might want to go check it out. It's the rising reading, but I didn't even label it as rising reading today. I labeled it as divine union. You guys might want to check that video out because which it'll be uploading. I'll have to upload both of these later today when I have time, because they're not doing it right now for some reason around this area. But anyway, in that video, it actually talked about, I pointed out how there could have been a discussion that left you more confused than, when you went in, and it was like y'all said y'all was breaking up and stuff, and so that made your heart hurt, both of you, but both of y'all could have still been holding on. I feel like that's the energy even of this particular reading here. So what I'm saying that to say is that my husband just made his gesture, and in him making his gesture, I was able to make mine as well. And I have to admit that I'm grateful for it. It's a lot of stuff going on, but the truth of the matter is, and it was funny because I couldn't deny it because it came out in the cards, both of us are still holding on. It's like this is not over, but we both clearly said some shit just last night. And even before, this doesn't seem like it's an isolated event. If you're anything like me, this has kind of been going on. There's been like this tug of war between you and your partner for a while, you and your spouse, you and your husband, or you and your wife for a while now. And I really feel that this is heavily connected to these divine unions. I was saying in the other video that there's been a spiritual war going on. A spiritual war between the lovers, and damn, it's been tough, no lie. Let me move on. So some of you guys could be hearing from your partners. Some of you guys could be hearing from your wife or your husband. You guys could be making, there could be some apologies. There could be even if it's not apologies, there could be flowers being sent. There could be boxes of chocolates. There could be just your person doing something that could be slightly out of character for them. But the reason that they're doing it is their driving force. Spirit is having me say it like this. The driving force is their love for you. Okay. And I have to say, I feel like even if these people are toxic, and I say these people, and know that I'm including us too, the watchers. I'm including us too, because we all have some toxic behaviors that these divine unions, I believe, are here to help us work out. But nevertheless, and before they're worked out, they're exposed. And the way that they're exposed is they come up with the way that we deal with one another. So both parties have toxic shit going on, and we bring that to this union. But I don't feel like it's malicious, and it's not like it's not gonna work. It's just we have to really see the shit for what it is, and we have to start making damn changes. Simple as that. Reconciliation was the next card that came out. It says someone from your past is returning to your life. For me, this could be true for some of you guys. This really could be someone from your past. But if you're like me, if you resonate with me and the way that I'm reading this, it's coming from my energy as well and what I'm dealing with. And so I would say that this is also your current person, because again, just last night or just sometime this week, y'all could have broke up with each other. Or you could have at least said that. You know what I'm saying? And so that made that person your ex. I don't care if it was yesterday's ex or the week before, whatever. Y'all could have been broken up for longer as well. But the point is, there's reconciliation that's getting ready to take place. And I feel like even if you look at this picture, it's like, you see how this dude is holding on to her and she love it. And you see how she holding on to him. It's like, y'all both fucking know that y'all wasn't ready to let this go. Or both of you guys knew that y'all love each other and you're not ready for it to be over, but y'all's ego and pride and hurt and feelings of betrayals from the past and even in the current situation was what was leading your decisions. It was what was leading the damn conversation and not love. So, but after this heart-to-heart conversation and expressing your love, which all of this seems to come out or happen simultaneously. Maybe that's the reason why all of these cards flipped over at the same time and they all had to come out like this, okay? Yeah, this is going to happen very quickly. And I say that off of the strength, yes, of what happened with me, but it doesn't have to be the case. But 5 is the number of these cards. So this is going to indicate to me 5 deals with change. This change is coming and it's coming swift to me. All right. Whatever swift may mean for you. It could be 5 days, could be 5 weeks, could be 5 months, 5 years, but whatever the case may be, this change is indicated and it's coming. And I feel like it's all going to be happening dynamically, simultaneously. Okay. Instantaneously. Moving on. After the reconciliation came the keep an open mind. Keep an open mind. And I really feel like we both need this, because I think that one of the things that has been blocking us from really actually seeing each other's love, seeing each other's heart for the other, has been the fact that we're both holding on to these preconceived notions about the way that things should be, the way that your person should be. Like, you could feel like you can see the greatness in your person and you feel like, oh, you're not living up to these expectations that I have of you, and they're great. So, and therefore you're good. So I think that you should. Okay. Some of us need to step away from that, to me. Okay. Others of us, we could just be blocking somebody altogether because they don't look, think, act, talk, smell, and do other things. I'm going to keep it PG, and do other things that we may feel that they should do, like what we've always desired or dreamt of. Spirit is like, no, ma'am, no, sir. Stop doing that. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. And let me just say that I feel like more than anything, this is about differing from our expectations. Your person could still be your type. Your person could be everything that you feel like you look for in a person when you want to be all into them and attracted to them. Oh, that was the bottom of the deck card too, guys, after I had pulled all the cards. Attraction, okay? Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully, okay? But I felt like that dealt with the fact that both of y'all are very strongly attracted to one another. Y'all think the other person is everything, you know, even though that may not be coming across so clear. But yeah, your person, I tied that into this understanding, is that you're attracted to your person physically. That's not really, for some of you guys, that's not really the issue. The issue is that you got these other damn expectations of your partner in your head, and because they're not meeting those, you creating problems. Both of us, when I say you, know that I'm talking about me too. We're creating problems for the other. The last and final card that came out was codependency. It says addictions are affecting your romantic life. And I really do feel like that's the truth. But it doesn't just have to be addictions, okay? But it could be. And I just heard love addictions, okay? Love addictions. Addiction. And when I think about love addiction, I think about the feeling of whatever we connect with the feeling of being in love. Okay? That could be something that is somehow playing itself out in this particular union, okay? But with the codependency bit, I feel like your partner could, and oh, I forgot, this was the partner's out, the person who's watching partner and how they feel about them. I think that what they see is they can see some things in you that definitely need to be changed. With codependency and with what was coming out a lot in the Divine Union reading, which I would recommend everybody go watch. Pentacles came up a lot. A lot of swords came up. Okay. So some of us could even have this thing where we talk too much. That's my thing. I have to admit that. That's mine. But some of us could run off at the mouth when we get angry. We could run to social media, post things. Yeah, that could be an addiction, okay? So for whoever that may resonate with, along with myself, because I have to stand first with that one, that could be an addiction. That could be a problem that your partner sees in you and they don't like it, whatever. What else? Pentacles was out heavy. There was an imbalance with that. So getting money, creating stability and security for self could be a problem, hence the codependency card being out there. Some of us are we've been doing this for so long, we have been dependent upon other people to help provide our stability and our security, and we cannot do that anymore. That's not right, first and foremost, because then what happens if that person isn't able to do it anymore? Can they depend at that point upon us to take on that? If we operate in the codependency vein, that's a negative. I can tell you that now, because you don't have it. You have not done it. So that could be something that's been coming up a lot for some of us in these unions. Money issues, arguments about money, how to get money, the fact that money is important and we need it. You know, some of us who are extremely spiritual, we have a hard time, really manifesting and rooting ourselves when it comes to money, and that's something that's being worked on and shifted in this union. Okay, I know that I'm speaking from experience here. That's why this is going to resonate so much with you, because the Most High, with the prophets, the way that the Most High works is that you have to go through, not all the time, but some of the most potent prophets, they had to go through and experience what they had to speak on. The prophet Hosea just came in my mind, but he's not the only one. There were so many other prophets who had to go through some very, very trying mother freaking times. And yet the Most High was still, that spirit was still with them. And that spirit still gave them messages and information that are still potent today. Come through. So I just had to say that. Moving on. So that was the last card. So that was the last thing. Codependency issues, I think, are being worked out in this union as well. So, but that's what your partner was thinking about. Then I asked Spirit, what were we considering and how were we looking at our partner? The cards that came out was stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Okay. I felt like Spirit is trying to keep us in happy spirits about it. Okay. Again, I do feel like this is about a commitment already. So I don't think that some of us are really, even though we said we was breaking up, and even though we said we wanted a divorce, and even though we said all these things, we didn't mean that shit. Number one, for many of you guys that this reading will resonate with, you never meant that. So yeah, I said that, but you was always hoping that y'all could be together and that things would just work out. So staying optimistic about the love life, that's what Spirit is encouraging that we do. Or no, I'm not saying that Spirit is encouraging us. This is what we thought about our person. But I guess that's still the case. Like, we're still thinking positively, or at least still hoping for the best, okay? And that may come out in our being more giving of information, maybe, or just trying to share our heart a little more, okay? I'm going to have to hurry up and wrap this up. I got to get inside. Playfulness, making things light or something. I feel like this energy is coming, okay? And we may be the ones to do that. Like, we may want to play with our person. We may want to flirt a little bit with our person. We may just want to laugh, to just make sure that we can still do that with each other. It says, to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. So we might need to we could be viewing our partner like, play with us, you know, like, can you show a little something different other than this serious ass stern face that you always have on? Can you show a little personality, please? But I feel like they are. I feel like they will. I know that happened for me today. Literally, I made the Divine Union video at like around 5 or something this morning. I'm making this video around 8. In 2 hours time, my situation seems to have turned around. The energies that were flowing before have turned around already, just as I believe it was pointing out in the Divine Union video. I think that's dope. Another way that some of us could be viewing our partner is that they need to free themselves. It says it's time to take back control of your life. Maybe some of us feel like our person ain't really in control of themselves. You know, I know for me, I'm in a third party situation and I feel like some other things have been influencing my person. Not that I haven't influenced him, but I also feel like some other things have influenced him. The other things being other things. I'm not going to even go into detail, but 3 cards are the only thing that came out. So I'm going to stick with third party situation for that too. But it's also because for me, that really does resonate. So that is the general love reading for today, you guys. Listen, if it does not apply for you, it's fine. It's cool. It just doesn't. Okay. And honestly, I don't know if anybody else used to do this. I wasn't the best at reading, but I could still put together a reading for myself even when I was watching another person, because you know what is, you know, the exact like things within yourself and in your situation. So even if something doesn't apply with what the reader is saying, you know what really applies to your situation, and you can kind of like further the reading. So if that's what you have to do based upon what Spirit has given me, do that. But don't embellish or don't lie. But I'm talking about based off of your real shit and what you know. You can be the high priestess too, okay? But yeah, if it doesn't resonate at all, then that just simply means this one ain't for you. That's all that means, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it at all. You know, my prayer is always that Spirit give the messages that will resonate most with those who need it and who would just resonate with. Shit, I don't ever want the message to reach anyone that it's not supposed to be for, but for those that it's supposed to be for, I ask Spirit to allow that to take place. I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple zodiac cards because I'm being led to do that, Spirit. Whew, please let us know what signs will this particular love reading resonate with most. This card came out first as well the first time with the last Divine Union reading. Spirit, please, I thank you so much. I'm so grateful right now. It's not even funny. This one came out as well. Thank you, Spirit. You're amazing. You're amazing. Wow. Y'all, I'm tripping. This happened way fast. Like, quick. Me and my guy just talked this morning. You know. Shit. I don't want to cry. That's the only reason why I'm not going to go into more detail. I got to wait because I can't go into this. I cannot have that energy that came out too. I can't. Okay, this one didn't come out, but it still applies, I'm sure. I can't have that energy going into work. I wouldn't make it throughout the day. And I need to make it throughout the day, okay? But I'm really grateful to Spirit. I heard some vibrations and stuff. I'm almost finished, you guys. I think I'm asking for one more card, Spirit, if you be your will. All right, and we're going to let that go. We're going to let it go. Please understand that this could still resonate with whatever signs, okay? But when I ask Spirit for specifics, I'm expecting specifics, okay? So the cards that came out that this reading definitely may most resonate with people in this sign. And again, this sign can be anywhere. Since this is a love reading, I'm going to say this is either your sun, moon, rising, Venus, or it could also be, you know what? It could be your Mercury too, you know. But I really feel like it could be anywhere in your chart. But to me, those things really shape. And it can be in your 8th house. Okay, this could be in your 8th house. Why the hell I was led to say that? Because the 8th house deals with relationships. That's why. So the cards that came out, the first card to fly out was Aquarius. The next card to come out was Leo. Next is Aries. Next was Scorpio. Last was Cancer, okay? Anywhere in your chart, I'm thinking Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, okay? Those are the ones I'm thinking the most. But again, this can be, oh, and also your 8th house. I love you guys with the love of the Most High. Please, you guys, if my readings touched you, if they resonated with you, subscribe, like the video, share the damn video. People need to hear these messages, okay? And please leave a comment. Do not be shy. All right, I gotta go. Love you.